So how is it going, guys, and welcome back to yet another Fallout 4 video. And today we have something very different, as we'll be covering the top 10 best real life created weapons based around Fallout 4. So if you've been on YouTube recently and are usually looking for some form of Fallout content, you may have came across a few of these DIY styled videos where people take random items, whether this be general household items or actually made in a professional manner, and construct real life weapons with them. Some of these are absolutely insane, and the level of creativity that goes into this stuff is truly amazing. So I thought, why not do 10 of the best created weapons that I've seen so far into one video. As always, be sure to check out the people who made these in the description below and subscribe to them. Some of these guys deserve major props for their creativity for this stuff, and again, some of these are just truly awesome. So enough talking, jumping straight into the video with the first one today, coming in from Camu Cosplay, who ended up making the last minute ghost rifle from Fallout 4. They started off by making a detailed blueprint of the weapon in Adobe Illustrator, which was then transferred into 1,000 pieces to use for their laser cutter. Then, using the laser cutter, they started off with a wooden core for the center of the weapon to make the weapon more sturdy, then used EVA foam for the majority of the surrounding pieces to make the weapon as lightweight as possible, whilst also looking as badass as a ghost rifle should. Once most of the main pieces were constructed, they then moved on to more of the detailing work, which again, a lot of EVA foam was used to create. Then eventually they moved on to the capacitors, which are fitted with LED strips inside to make them light up for more of that ghost rifle effect, and you guys will see more of the lighting effects towards the end of this specific video. Finishing up, they used an airbrush for the color detailing and some of the realistic rust patch effects, which I have to say do look very awesome. Fun fact about this is that it took around 3 whole days to glue all of the pieces together, so you can just imagine how much time, effort and creativity went into this project overall. The finished build consisted of 11 different pieces, which was actually connected using 80 different magnets, which is crazy when you think about it, and it weighs around 2 kilos and is 120 centimeters long. The overall time of the build took around 2 weeks to create, which is a lot of time put into this, but it paid off. As you can see, the weapon looks great. Definitely an awesome build there from Camu Cosplay. Number 9, the Power Fist by Jairus of All. Now this is truly a work of art. Not only does Jairus create his own version of the Power Fist, but he also makes it a fully functioning weapon too. Although he doesn't exactly match the Power Fist in game, he still does an absolutely outstanding job of creating this. He uses a variety of different pieces of metal and metal rods to create the base of the weapon, then uses a ton of different parts to assemble the weapon itself. Some of which include accutators, electronic solenoids, steel plates, push to connect fittings, a pressure gauge and regulator, and much more. If you want to see how he constructed this in full, as well as all of the materials used to create this, be sure to check out the link to his video in the description below. And if there's one thing that I will say about this, is that it's about as badass as a real life Power Fist gets. Number 8, the AER-9 laser rifle by Jay Cosplay Props. Jay's mission with this was to try and make it as accurate as possible to the in-game version, whilst being constructible in different parts for easier transportation, and I have to say, he did an outstandingly good job at doing so. The level of detail that's gone into this to make this very accurate is insane. He even states in his video that he went as far to make the screw threads match to the in-game model, so they're pointing in the same direction in-game on mirrored sides. So that alone tells you the level of detail and creativity that went into making this. He also states that the weapon is easily broken down but easily put back together, and when it is put together, it's a really sturdy weapon. The build itself took a long time to make, so much so that he spent 6 months researching the weapon into complete detail so we could match the in-game variant perfectly. And you can just tell from the level of detail that a lot of engineering and time has gone into the weapon itself. For number 7, we have Amon-Ra with the Shish Kebob. Hopefully I pronounced his name right there, but he ended up making his own custom version which comes with custom sound effects, LED lighting, and even a fog generation system that generates fog around the weapon, which is pretty damn amazing. The basic operation consists of a pilot light and 5 LEDs that are the flame jets running down the body of the blade, which is controlled by the main handle fitted to the bottom. There's also 2 hidden buttons at the bottom of the weapon that when pressed, lights up the superheated blade. A lot of which was used to make this can be found in local hardware stores such as the plumbing supplies, brass and metal piping, valves, and even the water bottle which was used as the canister on top. Also, the main portion of the blade itself was made using a 1/4-inch piece of solid acrylic which he then sawed into the shape of the weapon. The overall build took long to make, with the painting of the weapon alone taking up 6 hours. It's also electronically powered by an 18650 battery which is fitted at the very bottom with a cap at the end. Number 6, Krampus Tooth by Stephen C. Bear. To begin, he first took to Photoshop and printed off an image of the base weapon to match its size. He then cut around the printed piece of paper with the blade so it's just the weapon left. Then using this, he drew around the paper onto a plank of wood and eventually cut the wood to shape the weapon itself. He then assembles the weapon using other pieces of wood on top for the handle, and also does some detailing work on the base of the weapon, and then finishes up with a few layers of paint and some screws and rubber for the handle itself. Overall, it's a pretty basic build. There's not really many materials that go into this, but it's a great craft of the Krampus Tooth. Like, genuinely, this is a pretty cool build for just using wood, printed off paper, and stuff like that. So props out to Stephen C. Bear for this one. Coming in at for number 5, we have the Combat Shotgun by William Shakespeare. For this build, he uses a lot of materials that can be purchased again from your local hardware stores, such as PVC pipes, a PVC cutter, hot glue, a glue gun, EVA foam, scrap metal, and much more. For a detailed list on the materials and a quick tutorial, William provides this in his video linked in the description. Anyway, he begins by drawing the base shapes of the weapon onto the EVA foam itself, and then cuts around this and eventually constructs them together piece by piece. He goes on to use spray paint for most of the gun and acrylic paint for the handle. Overall, when pieced together, the weapon looks great and is pretty damn epic. Number 4, Jim Utz with the laser musket replica. So I'm not entirely sure what materials were used to create this weapon, but what I can say is that it looks great and that he did a great job on not only the looks of the weapon, but also the LED lighting and the sound effects too. There's actually a hidden button on the handle beneath the hand wrapping that when pressed activates the sound effects for a speaker in the front, and of course when you press it as well, it also activates the LED lighting inside. As for the sound effects, all 6 crank sounds are displayed as you keep pressing the button, similar to the way you would hear it in game, and every time that you press the button, the LED gets brighter and brighter as if you're cranking the weapon more and more. Additionally, when you pull the trigger, the lights go out and a sound effect plays to match the shot from the weapon itself. So a lot of different types of work went into the sound effects of the weapon, and overall a pretty good build there coming in from Jim Utz. Number 3, WYSH Creative with the legendary pipe rifle. Now these guys are creative as hell, as they make the pipe rifle look a lot like the in-game version with a lot of awesome detail work. The entire thing is made from PVC pipes and foam PVC sheets. The nuts, bolts and wires are also real too. Aside from this, he doesn't really give much info on the build itself, aside from the obvious insane detailing work that went into the construction and painting, which, may I add, is very on point with the rusting effects and colours in general, and overall just looks amazing. Seriously, props to this guy for making this weapon so on point. Number 2, gear with a homemade Fallout 4 Shish Kebob. So this is gear's very own version or take on a functioning shish kebab. Like no joke, this thing is made to burn and is a pretty good medium between the old Fallout 3/New Vegas one and the new Fallout 4 one. I'm not entirely sure on all the materials he used to make this, but he does state in his video that the weapon itself does have an insulated handle, of course for safety purposes there. It does come with a motorcycle handbrake ignition system and uses a propane tank instead of a liquid motorcycle gas tank. It also turns on using a valve at the bottom, and although maybe not ideal to use in real life, as of course overall it is a dangerous weapon, it's definitely very awesome to see something like this being brought to life. I mean, the fact that somebody's made a working shish kebab in real life is just crazy, so major props to gear there for the creation of this weapon. And finally, number 1, the Lego Fat Man by Zartzinombies Lego Creations. I mean, where do I even start with this? This is a functioning Fat Man from Fallout 4, completely made from Lego. Even saying that sounds crazy, but these guys genuinely did a great job of constructing this and making it look as badass as the Fat Man would from Fallout 4. It's built with over 2,500 Lego bricks and measures over 4 feet long, and also uses a Lego Zeppelin from the Explorer series for the mini nuke. Funny thing about the mini nuke is that it actually comes apart on contact and a bunch of Lego comes out of it for, I guess, the Lego version of a mini nuke explosion, which is genuinely really cool. The Lego also ranges from a bunch of different colours from grey, silver, brown, yellow, black and even chrome, and they even used a few specialty printed pieces such as the caution pieces and much more. Even in its Lego form, it weighs over 10 pounds. I mean, granted it is a Fat Man, so you'd expect it to weigh a lot, but man, I've got to give some props to these guys. To make a functioning Fat Man from Lego takes some serious creativity and work, so be sure to check out the original video that they made on this in the description below. And that goes for everybody else on this list as well. I mean, these guys are insanely talented and deserve major props for creating these, so make sure you check all of them out in the description and subscribe to them. I also want to give huge credit to a good friend of mine known as Fantastical Gamer. He did the same idea for Call of Duty Zombies, so I asked him if it was alright if I did it for Fallout, and he was like, yeah, go ahead. So you can check him out as well in the description below. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. I'm also doing a £50, or whatever that converts to in dollars for you US people, Amazon gift card giveaway, and all you have to do is simply subscribe. In about 2 weeks, I'll be announcing the winners in a video, so in around 2 weeks as well, if you do subscribe, make sure you check your YouTube inbox, because that is where I'm going to be messaging you. I'm just going to go straight through the subscriber list and pick one at random, and maybe you may end up winning the giveaway. But other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Your support, of course, is greatly appreciated on the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.